Hey there, how you doing? In this video, I'm going to enlighten you on the things you need to do to get started with your shell project. By now, you should have Google and know how the shell works. If you don't know that, you might want to go Google it right now to read about the shell and how it works, especially an article on Medium focusing the name of the author. Anyway, without further ado, let's just get started with it. So the first thing you need to understand is process. This is the first thing you need to understand before you start your shell project. And if you check the materials provided by ALX, you're going to see that it was recommended to know what a process is. It's actually the first thing the list. So what is a process? A process is a program in execution. So this is basically what a process is. So whenever you're running a program, that's a process. That's in operating system. So in operating system, a process is a program in execution. So now that you already know what a process is, now let's just give a demonstration of how it works. And in the shell, each program you're running always have a unique ID, which is the PID, is the process ID. So I'm going to write the program here and I'm going to get the process ID of the program so you can see how that works. So I'm just gonna go by including the libraries. So why I included the UniSTD because I'm going to use a function that is inside and some data type as well. So the first thing I want to do is to declare the variable I'm going to store the process ID. So that's going to be PID underscore T. You can see it over here. I'm going to give it PID. So I'm not going to initialize it, I'm just going to declare it. Now that I've declared that, then I'm just gonna come down here and say PID is equal to get PID, then this over here. So what this is doing right there is getting the process ID of this program. When I run this is going to give it the process ID because there is always a parent ID, there's always a parent process, and there is a child process. That's what we need the fork function to do. That use the fork function system call to create process ID. Now that we have this there, then I'm going to go ahead and print it so you can see it's being given a process ID. Okay, there we go, there we have it. So one more thing that I'd like to add to is that your shell, this shell over here, this shell environment here, you can see this bash, this is my bash, this bash over here, this bash over here is a process. It's a program. You can see when I run the bash, something happened. It's went to get the bash procedure, and if I should go to the root directory of my PC and go to the bin folder, I can find a lot of programs there. So your shell, the shell you're using to run your program, the shell you're working with is actually a program written by another person. So you have a lot of files. For example, you have the CD, the LS, the LES, the MKDR. All these stuffs are programs written so that you can make use of them to perform your tasks. So now that we've written this, I'm going to go ahead and save it, then I'm going to run it there. Okay, now that that's run without any problem, now let's run it. So each time I run the program is going to be assigned a new ID. Now you can see I have 14448. Then I'm going to run it again. I have 1524. So it's going to change gradually, because once it runs, it's been assigned a new ID. Since it's not the process ID, it's not the parent ID. The parent ID is always constant. But let's assume and I have another child process inside this process. That's by invoking the fork function. Then this process ID over here is going to be constant, and I'm going to the process ID of the child process is going to change continually. So the bash process has its own unique ID, and all this process under it have been assigned an ID. So that's what you need to know for now. And please go study how the shell works. The next video I'm going to reveal more to you. So that'll be all for now. Have a nice day. You can practice more with this.